The Delaware County Regional Wastewater Session, July 1st, 2026.
Ray,
Yes.
Aaron,
Here.
Joe, present, Ron,
First order of business is the minutes of the meeting June 3rd, 2026. Did everybody get a chance to look at it? I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Any additions, changes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
Microphone's on, guys.
I was the only one.
Sorry about that. There we go. All right, Josh is out, so the treasurer's report, claims for May 29th, 2026 through June 25th, 2026, totaling $264,290.69. Account balances as of June 26, 2026, cash operating balance, $420,000. Improvement fund balance, $2,760,214.24. June Delville TIF transfer of $9,411, and the Indiana Bond Bank transfer of $18,755.55. As you're all aware, you see the 5 CDs underneath of that we are still turning over on a regular basis of $300,000 each.
Make a motion for approval.
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. Payment of claims for $264,290.69. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Old business tabled from first meeting, accounts to close out.
So for the Bank of New York construction account, Jennifer gave us some direction on that. That has to be transferred over and to the appropriate account for, so it's initially just going to be set aside the $5,867.31 less of a transfer we'd make for that payment. Is that correct, Penny? Am I saying that right? Okay, tell me.
Slow down, sorry.
Well, I didn't look at it again today, but it's a Bank of New York construction account, so we're gonna have to ask them to, and what they'll do is just issue us a check and we put it wherever we need to put it. That's what they did last time. Unless we want to move it to another account that we have
With them.
there, but I mean, we have the debt service account.
Yes.
And the bond account, and then the construction account is the one
It's-
we're talking about
It's from the Westbrook
closing
job.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from the old construction account, Westbrook, and it's just
Yes.
a remaining amount.
Just hit the button, Rob.
Do you have to put in a disbursement to get access to it? Or do you already have? Usually to get that interest money, we've got to put in a disbursement request to you.
Well,
Commonwealth puts one into us. Is that what you're saying,
No,
Rob?
no, it has nothing to do with us.
Okay.
He fills out the disbursements to get access to the funds.
Okay.
If it's sitting at the Bank of New York, it's still under SRS control, isn't it?
yes,
But it's yours. You're entitled to spend it.
yes.
So we probably need to reach out to SRF and ask them procedurally, how do they want us to go about getting access to those funds? The easiest would be if they tell you to put a disbursement form together like Jason used to do when that project was under construction. Give them the bank information on where to send the money. But we may just have to justify what you're going to spend. Like so. Because it was a loan, right?
Yes.
It's yours.
All right.
You either give it back and you reduce the amount of the loan. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
probably not enough to,
It's $5,000.
right,
It would
or you
be-
try to get access to it.
I think the way that we'd reduce the amount of that monthly transfer. We could use that and directly transfer it over.
I'm not doing anything out of that account. I'm not doing anything but reporting the interest that's earning. That's all I do every month. That account.
They have access to it. I'll get further clarification on that. But the Oregon Bond Bank, I know we had talked about using those funds to start doing work with the H frames out on the lift stations in the Rorton area, which we have full right to do. I've talked to a local contractor, and we can get those, depending on how in depth they go. They're looking for anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a piece. That'd be them coming out, pulling the existing H frames, bracing. We'll do a service disconnect, and then they'd be putting in a new steel H frame, replacing all the, not replacing, reinstalling all the panels, the meter bases and all that. So if we want to move forward with that, we can do it. They said they'd be happy to, quote us for the entire thing, or we can do it by job. Right now, I got 2 scheduled on the books just to see more what we're getting ourselves into, but they're saying they're about $2,500 a piece. And if we include 1 mag meter, I got 20 to do.
You have 20 of these to do?
Yeah, they're all old wood H frames. The ones Westbrook and Delville are good. The 20 plus lift stations, taking out what we've done in the past projects. Number 1 new panel, number 9 new panel, and some of the smaller ones that are just mounted up next to the lift station. We don't have to replace, but we have 19. It'd be 19 plus 1 mag meter that's still wood frame.
Well, you say you got 20 of them?
Yeah,
You could get 24 of them done if they come in at 2,500.
yeah.
You said it's 2,500 to 3,500 per. I guess I would, I don't know where the board's at, but for us to decide, we would need a quote on the work to be performed and then present that to us. And if you got it, then we deal. Unless the board has other decisions, if it's that money sitting there, it's not being used right now, and we could get these taken care of and finish up the rest.
Is that the one that Pete asked to table because it was like a 20-year term and the repairs were only going to last 10 years?
No, that was a pump.
That was a pump.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we had looked at pulling, I think it was like $9,000 out, and
Okay.
he had questioned where we were gonna pay it out of. We ended up deciding to do that out of the
That was the 10-year pump on a 40-year note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
collection
Say no.
system of the line item on the budget, the last page. But that one fell out of that useful life. Yes.
Anybody have any other ideas, or is that the way you want the board would like to proceed? I don't think we have to make a motion. I think we just need to tell him to get us a quote to present to us so that we can decide whether we want to
Yes,
spend the money on these 20 manholes or covers or not.
Okay.
Just get us a quote from him on all 20 of them.
Yeah.
And I would tell him to do it individually. Tell him you've got a specific amount of money, and the board will make the decisions which one. And if we don't have enough, then we'll make the decision which one to leave out.
I got one on the backside of Country Village Section T.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have them do with them. And I'll pull that out. End up pulling that out of. And we could even vote next month to pay that funds out of that Indiana bond bank. But I already got the disconnect reconnect called in because it's lean and it's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, get us a quote, bring it back to us next month, and we can get you going. Okay, is that it, Jason, on those two?
Yep. Then I do have the new business.
Go ahead.
It wasn't added to the agenda, and I kind of sent you guys an email and spoke to you about it on Tuesday. I have a pump in our Delaware number 5 lift station. We got water in the sills, burn up the stator, and for repair, we were looking at $10,441.40. And for a new one with a warranty, we're looking at $12,417. My recommendation would be going ahead and getting the new pump with the warranty.
I think all the board members, Jason sent this out, it was behind the package, but I think we all had plenty of time to look at it. If you did, please acknowledge. If you didn't, take a look. If so, I would entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve for a new one, pump.
I'll second it.
I've got a first and second for the new pump at 12,000. Any discussion, questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Approved.
Jason, how long does that warranty run on those pumps?
Get a year.
How long?
A year.
A year?
But that pump, like I said, that pump that we pulled out, that we were looking at rebuilding, been there since 2009.
think we got our money out
Oh,
of
I'm
that.
sorry,
You got your money's worth out of it, Jason.
Yeah, they're the Xylem top of the line. They usually pretty, I mean, they're the good ones, so that's what we're gonna replace it with as well.
Okay, Jason, you got the collection update.
Collections update. Currently, when I sent out that same email, we were quite a bit higher. We were at 4,273.76, but today, the final date for disconnects, for the 10-day payment window for Roaring is tomorrow. So we've got some payments since then. So currently we're at 2,258.76, and last month we were at 3,555.34. So we had 2 properties disconnected last month, and now as of today we got payment on the second property, so they've both been reconnected. We secured 4% on that CD investment for last month that we rolled back over, and that total interest earned is currently sitting at $155,734.74 since we started that rotation. And had quite a bit of rain this last month, and still no blowovers or anything like that. We did have a line on the backside of Country Village where we had to call in a contractor to come and do a root saw. Our jet couldn't get it, and they came through and got it open and flowing good there. We got probably a 80-foot section of pipe that's got a little bit of belly in it. We're gonna see what we can do inside and see if that's something we're able to conquer ourselves, or if not, bring quotes to you guys for that too.
Okay.
Then we found out we got a manhole that we're going to do, and get some new bench walls put in that while we're out there on that job. So, but that is all I have.
Okay. Any questions for Jason? Danielle?
We drafted an easement for the Berry property that Ashton did the survey on for us. We did deliver that to their house yesterday. They had some additional questions. Mr. Berry was not home, so my office talked to the wife, and then he did have a phone call with our office today. We sent him some additional information, and we are following up with them again tomorrow. So hopefully we get that easement signed without any further issue. This is, again, one that dates back maybe a couple decades, that it appears the paperwork was just never completed on. So we'll keep following up on that. I don't have any progress on the Lawson dedication. We don't have that from this last month. And then on,
That just went silent. Is it pretty much just fell off the table?
well, I think they may still be talking. I don't.
It's not involving us.
At this point, it doesn't involve us,
Sure.
because until Lawson has everything in order, they can't fully dedicate everything to us for that second part of that line, because the easement is, so it doesn't affect us. So the negotiation right now, we don't really play a role in until it's done, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Then on the MSD side, Jason and Bill and Nathan from my office went over and had a meeting with the MSD board at, I believe, what they call a committee meeting or a work session before their board meetings that they have. I'm not sure that it was extremely productive. In the sense of really moving the language along in our addendum. So Nathan and myself are working on clarifying some language in the addendum that we proposed, and are going to send that back over by tomorrow to hopefully get some sort of an actual response from MSD. They did put together the evening before that meeting, some bullet points, which appeared to just be language taken out of my addendum, but with a couple sentences added to a few of them. we did have some issues with some of those, so we're going to comment back with some information, maybe giving some historical background as to why those things weren't part of what we had talked about in the numerous meetings our committee had with the MSD committee. So hopefully still moving in the right direction, but we are now just a few weeks away from having that expert deadline. I told the board that I would also get an update. Up until lunch today, we were at $6,167.50 we paid in arbitration, but I believe we just got a bill today for another $1,500. So we are getting near the $10,000 mark very quickly. And if we got one bill, we'll get another bill because the mediator sent their bills, or the arbitrator sent their bill separate. They don't all come together. So these are ever increasing by the day.
I'm really disappointed in MSD. Very disappointed in them dragging us out like this.
Well, when we were in the meeting, that I say we, it was me and Jason are probably the only ones at the table other than Adam that even seen Mars' proposal return and got out. The rest of the board hadn't seen it when we sat down at the table.
Per board.
Her board. So
Yes,
in my eyes, there was no reason for us to have a discussion at that point because we had gotten a response finally after 3 months to Danielle's letter. So it's kind of, we just kind of excused ourselves from that meeting because that had came out. We haven't had time to sit down with her. We did have a little bit of conversation before we went in, but really there was no in-depth conversation. It was just, this got thrown at us, here it is, what do we do? So I wasn't gonna rush it by any means. I mean, not that another day or two is gonna make a difference, but I wasn't gonna get in a hurry to
And
yes or no.
The intent of that, attending that meeting or requesting to be on the agenda for MSD was that we wanted to make sure that their board understood we had sent this addendum in April. We've just been waiting on a response for months, paying arbitrator bills that, you know, ideally we may not have been able, or we wouldn't have had to pay if things could have moved along a little quicker, but,
And I'll point it out, that there's board members that didn't even know that paperwork existed, my understanding. They hadn't even seen it, so I know, that same look I did when I walked into that meeting. You should have been there, we'd both been doing it. But that's my understanding. That's why we're 3 months behind right now, I think. I mean, it's there. I think we're more than willing to settle. I'm willing to sit down. I know Ray is. Jason's been tabled. We've been there. We're not hindering this in any way, shape, or form.
No.
We just want to be treated fair. What's in the contract is what's in the contract. That's it. And obviously, we do not agree on that, according with all the members of this board. But then when she sent it back, what we had in there, Danielle's, was whittled completely down to 3 paragraphs. There's more on the table than that. There's more meat on the bone. We're not ignoring all the rest of it. And something was said, those are, what was said? What was it said? I can't remember. Are those insignificant or not insignificant? What was the other things? Are you guys, remember he said, are you guys unhappy with the contract? But then what was the problem? I couldn't remember. You remember that
Just asked if
conversation?
we were unhappy with the contract. I think there might be some way of communication between them and the attorney. But our addendum, I think, shows that we're unhappy with the contract. Maybe additions or some interpretations of the contract. So we're not unhappy with the contract, that we explained to them that there was a delay in communication between their attorney and them seeing our addendum and why we've got to the point where we're at, that would just the interpretation and any additions or how it's being understood is what we were unhappy with. I don't think that we're not necessarily in a position where we want to keep on proceeding with arbitration, but that we want to put this to rest.
Yeah, I don't want to waste any of our ratepayers' money, or I'm sure they don't want to waste any of theirs. I mean, I don't want to give it to
Excuse me?
somebody else.
It sounds like right now,
Well-
I'm a ratepayer with them too, and it sounds like to me.
They're wasting their
they
money.
are wasting money because they must have unlimited funds to be dragging us out.
I've went to the commissioners, you know, this board is controlled by the commissioners or overseen by the commissioners. I've asked the commissioners, I know Stephen has had conversations. It isn't, I've tried every avenue. I mean, if somebody's got an idea, I'm more than willing to do it, but, right now I think the ball's in their court.
Commissioner Brand has been very helpful to us recently in trying to help bridge the gap of communication from my perspective.
And yeah, I'm glad he's getting involved in it.
Yeah.
We were due.
Danielle, who do you think's got their foot on this and not moving forward on their board?
I don't know that someone on the board, maybe, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know necessarily
That's
that
okay.
the board,
It's
a
better
board
like that,
member has their foot on anything. I think there was a misunderstanding. I think they did not know we sent the addendum in April, which I'm sure they're thinking they're waiting on us. We're not understanding why they didn't respond. Months go by, over $6,000 is paid in our arbitration fees, which means $6,000 was paid in their arbitration fees. So I think that created some animosity that we weren't aware, they weren't aware, we had already sent everything. And I think maybe there's a misunderstanding that we have an issue with the contract when it has nothing to do with the actual contract. The issue came when the new rate was proposed. It included or changed the way the contract evaluated how the rate was going to be calculated.
Okay.
And so we consider the 319 and the addendum one and the same. You can't have one without the other. So if you can't have an agreed upon rate if you aren't agreeing as to how you're getting that rate. So to us, the addendum is only clarifying how we're getting to that number and making sure we're not adding in a vac truck that wasn't there in the original contract. And I think we thought we were all on the same page and we just had to put it in writing. So everything from our committee notes and the work that we did, I put into the addendum as clarification. Hey, we're agreeing to 319, but this is also the language that allowed us to agree to 319 because we're not going to add this or this is how this is going to be calculated. We're fixing that flat rate issue from the original contract. So we're just cleaning things up, not that we're unhappy with what we negotiated. We're just making sure we're all playing with the same deck of cards. So I think it, to me, sounds like more of misunderstanding.
Communication.
Yes, that's what it sounds like to me. But I was not in that last meeting. I sent Nathan. I think they think I'm a problem, and I think they're wrong. And so I'm smart enough to know that if they think I'm a problem, I'm not going to hinder it further. So, you know, if Nathan needs to be the face of this with them, so be it. It hurts my feelings none. Because
But we
I know
want-
that I'm not the issue.
But if we want you and you're representing us, I mean,
Yeah.
why does it matter what who they want?
It
there
doesn't.
instead
It
of
doesn't.
you?
I also had a prior obligation for that.
Oh, I know, well, you could be there, but I
10:30,
mean, we want you there.
Amen. I
I don't
agree.
think they should get to choose our council.
Well, they didn't
They-
say they didn't want me there. I
They
was,
didn't. She,
It was
she,
an
she,
I'm
she did a thing because of the first meeting that we had. There was a thing that came up that should never have come up in that meeting. And I brought it back to the attorney, me and Jason both did. She made this call. She was obligated
you
to
might
do it,
as
but
well explain what you're talking about because to me, they need to understand why I felt like I was going to be a hindrance.
well, I was told that one of the board members felt that the only reason we were there, this wasn't done, was because there was a problem between her and an attorney that used to be in her firm. And he brought that piece of paper deal, had nothing to do with MSD and Delaware County Regional Wastewater District. And Jason can tell you there, I didn't take it real well. So we ended up walking out of that meeting. It was just so do you want me to get deeper?
No, I'm just, I just want
No,
to
that's
explain why-
that's exactly what went down. Me and that board member have not had a conversation about that piece of paper still laying on the corner of my desk because it should have never been brought up in that conversation. Me and him haven't been in that environment, and I haven't had that piece of paper to say, this was da-da-da, go and finish that conversation. That was only the second time I've been in a meeting with him, and probably only the third or fourth time I've ever seen the gentleman, other than a couple times outside of business. So, but it should have never been brought up in the situation. So it started out on the wrong foot. And we're trying, and what she did with stepping out, Nate going in, was staying focused. There's no, this is off the table. Here's where we're at. This is what we're here for. Well, we didn't get to that point. So here we are back with now redoing from the addendum sent over. She sent it, Mara took a bunch out, sent over 3 or 4, and now we're sending back, and at least we're communicating right now. It's going back and forth as of right now. So we get this one out. Hopefully we'll get something back next week. Hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have some kind of guidance. I'm not promising that, but you would think that knowing the urgency that we're up against the wall on the August arbitration date, that we would work our butt off in this month to get this done if they want to get it done without going to arbitration. And I'm more willing to do that anytime, any place, anywhere. I don't want to go give money to a bunch of lawyers that have to argue and settle a situation that grown men and women should be able to handle right here. We all work for the same people, the same county. This is ridiculous to me. I don't want to give $50,000 to somebody else.
And the reason again that we can't be put on the agenda.
I didn't get that one figured out.
I was told that we will not be allowed to be on the agenda if we are not addressing an actionable item. So I responded and said, please consider our addendum the actionable item, and I was told no.
The meeting that you had to go to before, the committee meeting, how many of their board members were at that meeting?
All 5 of them.
But with you guys, how many of you
There
were
was
able to be
me,
there?
me and Jason and Nathan. That was it. That's 3. And Nathan did a good job. There was no issue with, and Jason, I let Jason lead it. Jason, he's superintendent, he led it. I was there to back up, and Nate was the same way, but Nate did a good job. And like I said, it was pretty much when it started off, Mara started it because some of the board members hadn't even seen what she had sent out the night before yet. So there was nothing to discuss or go over. I don't know how you could have an intellectual conversation when the other side hadn't even seen what you're about to discuss. So we've got it. We met, about an hour and a half, 2 hours yesterday. Got through her addendum and Mara's and the points that needed to be done. Jason was real good, brought the contract. I mean, we had some pretty good debates in there going back and forth, trying to understand the language and make sure we were clear, the questions that we needed to ask to clarify what they meant.
We have a couple of things I want to ask Jennifer, just to make sure we're
How we got
what we understand on the rate side of formulas and stuff to mean. I want to make sure what I believe the contract says for Jennifer's stuff is what it actually says to Jennifer too. So I'm not misinterpreting anything, but you know, our addendum isn't really going to change in shape or form from what I sent in April, other than to point out or maybe elaborate on some things as to why we're not okay with a couple of the things that was added.
I think one thing that was said in there, she said there's only 2 things, and to us, there's more than 2 things. When I say that there's more than 2 things to us, with the amendment, the way you put it together, you would know those things could never be put back into the contract to the amendment. And I think that's what's important to us, right? Do I have that right? And to them, it's not. It's just the language in those three deals. Well, no, you came back in the first one after the contract was signed, and you added this, this, and this. That's why we have this, this, and this, and this, and saying, no, it will never go in there because it wasn't in the original contract. I say that right? That's the problem. Don't whittle out that stuff that you threw in there so you can throw it to me, at me. I want to do it settle. We need to settle it now so it's never put in another contractual conversation between here and the end of 25 years.
Contract we originally signed and agreed on.
Agreed.
So
I think that's where we're at.
Bill, how much are we being billed for monthly now by them?
319, the difference between the 268, 319, and the late charges that are being, added in or being held in that separate
We're
account.
paying the 268, holding the rest of the 319 and any penalties in a
that
separate
escrow
account.
account?
Because in the addendum, we have to come to a date, and that has to be established as well in the addendum.
You've been billed $8,341.04 as of March 30th in penalties and late charges by MSD,
How much?
even though our contract allows for us to keep the difference during negotiations in a separate account. $8,341.04.
And we have a separate account, have since day one.
Oh.
We haven't changed it, we haven't stopped it, we haven't pulled the money out of it.
There's more than that now.
Yeah, it's like, it's probably close, it's over 80,000 that's been held in that account, like between the differences and the late.
So that all needs to be worked out as well, the late, that's an item that needs to be worked out as well. I know. Any other questions or concerns for Danielle on this topic? right
No.
now? We'll move forward. Anything else, Danielle? Sure.
I can clarify what Jennifer had said.
Go ahead.
I found it. She recommended that we close that account of the, I know when we originally had it last month, it was $5,867.31 plus interest. So since we went another month, it's gonna be more than that. But, she recommended, closing that account and transferring it into the Rorton bond and interest, cash account instead of the operating fund. Then, so currently our monthly transfers are 18,663.05, and using that to offset that payment, that monthly transfer that's going to that. So we need to take action to do that based on our recommendation.
Okay.
So it's being used as a end of the year transfer that the bank holds until the payments due, but we have to make that monthly transfer, just offsetting it with these, with this,
$5,867.31. Board's pleasure. Do I hear a motion?
Where are we gonna put the money, Bill?
Well, I think you want to explain it? Go.
So we make a transfer every month in order to pay the Indiana Bond Bank in July and in January. So when I transfer that money out of cash operating, I transfer it into a transfer account. And then that money holds that account holds that money until we go to make the wire payment. So the payment is $18,755.55 is the transfer payment. So she's saying to take that money and subtract the 5,000 from the 18,000, and so the difference between the 5,000 and the 18,000. Explain that right. Is going into
we're still get the same amount,
account.
just use that amount.
You're just
towards that
subsidizing with the
transfer.
5,700.
Yeah.
So you need a motion for 5,000 for the,
The
Account.
account 2020 A and B bond,
He wants to say something.
go ahead.
Reducing the amount of monthly transfer
yes.
by 5,
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
taking advantage of that
So the Brooklyn construction A and B bonds of 5,867.31 transfer to the Rorton, Indiana Bond Bank account.
Yes, on an interest account.
So moved.
I've got a first.
A second.
I've got a first and a second. Any more discussion now? Whew. Well, I'll get that one in line. Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Approved. Anything else, Jason?
I do have something out of the committee reports. Go ahead and do that.
Go right ahead.
I got that district strategic plan sent out to you guys last month. I got some comments back from Bill and Rob. Any additional comments that anybody wants to give outside of what was in there? I think the next step is that we'll probably give to Ashley to doll it up and make it a final working document, and then we'll bring it to the board for to get it presented and approved from that point on.
Do we want, No, I got ahead of myself. I just said we need to approve it. I mean, it needs to go through. Everybody's got it, but when are you?
Let me get, I could probably get with Ashley.
Because I don't. I was wondering. That's why I was going. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd like to get it on the webpage or whatever. I mean, the strategic plan. It could be underneath the tab or something there where people can see where we're headed.
Yeah, definitely. I think get it to her this month, bring it to you guys in August, and get it approved then, and
Get it up on it
Yeah.
up on our site. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else, sir?
Nope, that's all I have.
Hey,
This-
Jason,
yes.
on the strategic plan, on the position descriptions,
Yes.
there were a lot of just typographical errors in that.
Yeah.
Is that gonna get cleaned up before the
Yeah,
next
it's
iteration?
I directly pulled from what is it? Company do we have to do our handbook? Yeah,
Oh. Downtown here.
next to the post office. What is that?
Oh, right across the street.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it.
Look at the brain dead board we
It's all
have
by
here.
itself right
Everybody's like,
there.
okay,
Yeah.
we live here, we drive by it every day.
Yeah, I'll-
Sometimes
I'll
3 times
get
a
over
day,
it,
but I
yeah.
can't remember what it is.
Yeah, and I saw that they were old documents, so I figured they were just pulled from something else
Yeah,
and
that's what
maybe
it's- yeah.
something was lost in the formatting or something.
They did our handbook.
I think Rob ran out of red pen.
Anything else?
Nope.
Miss Ashley.
So last month we had several different web updates, and we also did a different type of blog where we kind of talked about that it's been important to do the updates that you guys have been doing, and that with all the rain events in May that we didn't have any overflow. So we're averaging, or last month we had over 700 visitors to your website. So that's really good. And that was up from the month before by 5%. We're still adding to your YouTube channel. And then we did have 7 unsubscribed from your email last month. None of them gave the reason. They all just said unspecified. So we're not sure why they decided to unsubscribe. I'll be on the lookout for this document, and I have written down some questions too, so we can get together on that. We'll want to be sure to get Aaron, I believe is your name. We'll want to get you on the website as well. So are there any other questions or updates you have for me?
Board? Doesn't look like it, dear.
All right.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your 4th.
Robert, anything? Okay. Seeing that, I've come to the end of the agenda. Does any board member have anything before us today? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
I've got a first and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? We are adjourned.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.